Before we start the movie, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. The movie begins at a well-known college in the state of Florida, where Rick is one of the most popular students. Rick isn't known for his academic achievements, he's an athlete, deeply passionate about sports and physical activities, but he's not really interested in studying. His teacher, Faye, on the other hand, takes education very seriously. Today is the last day of the school year, and Rick has been assigned to deliver a speech. But instead of taking it seriously, Rick turns it into a joke, making the students laugh. Faye, who's sitting in the audience, doesn't find it funny at all and interrupts him, saying, "This is a place for learning, not for jokes. I expected better from you." As the lecture ends and students begin to leave, Rick approaches Faye, pleading with her to reconsider her decision about his performance. But Faye stands her ground and tells him he'll have to retake the course. This puts Rick in a tough spot. He's now in real trouble. Meanwhile, Faye is facing her own challenges. She's married to Whitney, who was recently laid off from his job, leaving him feeling discouraged. Faye also has a sister named Patty, who is her complete opposite, carefree, full of life, and a believer in living in the moment. That night, Faye tries to connect with Whitney, hoping to bring some comfort to their relationship and make an effort to get closer to him. But Whitney brushes her off, saying, "It's too late. I'm not in a good mood. I feel broken and defeated." Faye asks why he's avoiding her, and Whitney admits that losing his job shattered his self-confidence. She tries to encourage him, suggesting he start his own business, but he doesn't want to hear it. The next day, Patty shows up unexpectedly from Chicago, determined to lift Faye's spirit. She takes her to a nightclub for a night out. Suddenly, Faye is shocked to see Rick performing at the club under the stage name Rocket Rick. On stage, Rick is the center of attention, entertaining the crowd with his moves and charm. The women in the audience are thrilled by his performance, as he delivers eye-catching dances and exudes confident energy. Faye watches from the crowd, unable to take her eyes off him. Rick notices her and decides to approach. During his performance, he gives her a lap dance, creating a highly charged moment. Their eyes meet, and Rick leans in for a kiss. Faye, startled, manages to pull away, creating distance between them. The next day, students return to school, and Rick and Faye cross paths again. Rick takes the chance to speak to her, asking her not to make him retake the course, insisting that he doesn't want to repeat it. But Faye remains firm, explaining that rules are rules. During their conversation, Rick begins to realize something. If he plays his cards right, he might be able to change Faye's impression of him. He starts flirting with her, saying, "You're so beautiful, I can't stop thinking about you." Faye tries to steer the conversation and asks him what he truly wants to do with his life. Rick answers honestly, "I dream of becoming a hotel manager. My ultimate goal is to earn enough money so my mom can retire. I want to take care of her because she's worked hard her whole life." Then he adds with a smile, "I even dreamed about you last night." Before Faye can respond, her husband Whitney suddenly walks in and notices the unusual dynamic between Rick and Faye. There's undeniable tension between them, but strangely, Whitney doesn't seem upset. In fact, he watches the situation as if he's observing, or perhaps encouraging, something. But Rick isn't exactly single, he's in a relationship with his girlfriend Slick, who loves him fiercely and gets jealous whenever she feels his attention is drifting towards someone else, especially Faye. In an attempt to keep him close, Slick buys Rick a luxury car, which he appreciates. But when Slick sees Rick flirting with Faye, she becomes deeply upset and is determined to prove that she's the better choice in every possible way to win him over. Meanwhile, Patty calls Faye and invites her to the hotel for a fun time. Faye hesitates at first, but Whitney surprises her by insisting she should go, saying, "Everything here is dull. Go out and have some fun, you deserve it." Despite her hesitation, Faye agrees, longing for a break from her problem. At the hotel, Rick performs another show under the title, Rocket Rick at Full Power, captivating the audience with his moves and showing off his athletic physique. Faye watches from a distance, feeling a mix of excitement and discomfort. But Patty is forced to cut her trip short due to an urgent matter. She hands Faye the keys to her room and says, "Why don't you stay here tonight? Enjoy the room and relax." Patty even tells Whitney that Faye will be staying with her, then leaves, leaving Faye alone. Later that night, Rick visits the hotel where his mother is working a shift. As Faye is about to leave, Rick flirts with her again, making it clear his interest hasn't faded. That night, he surprises her by placing a red rose in her car. Touched by the gesture, Faye's reaction reveals her growing feelings for him. They head up to Faye's hotel room, where the tension between them peaks, and they spend the night together in an intimate moment. But in the morning, there's an unexpected twist. Faye leaves the room, and Rick immediately calls Slick, who arrives shortly after. He repeats the same romantic gestures with her. They shower together, rekindling their relationship. But their moment is interrupted when Faye suddenly returns and is shocked to find them together in the bathroom. She feels deeply betrayed and humiliated, realizing she was just a game to him. She leaves the room heartbroken. Meanwhile, Whitney faces a string of job rejections, which adds to his frustration. He calls Faye, and the moment she answers, he senses something is wrong. He heads to the hotel and checks the security footage, discovering that Rick left Faye's room. Filled with anger and betrayal, Whitney confronts Rick and abducts him at gunpoint, taking him to a small dock. There, he forces Rick to strip and humiliates him in revenge. Rick pleads for his life, apologizing profusely and promising never to do it again. Whitney fires a shot, not at Rick, but at a boat, causing it to sink, and leaves Rick stranded in the water to learn a lesson he'll never forget. Despite everything, Rick survives the ordeal, which leaves a lasting mark on him. At home, Whitney waits for Faye. When she returns, they sit together. She tries to apologize, but he stops her, saying, "No need for words, I understand everything." They hold hands, a sign of forgiveness and a new beginning, reflecting on their youth and shared dreams. And that's where the movie ends. If you enjoyed the film, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content.